James Cameron warned Kate Winslet the day Leonardo DiCaprio walked into Titanic auditions. The actress reveals in a BBC radio interview, adding that the director pulled her aside and said, "He's brilliant, but keep him focused. He hates rehearsal and I'll fire him if he drifts." 30 years later, the three laugh about it. But that blunt caution almost cost Leo the role. In the next few minutes, the script will quote Cameron's own AMC special, replay the casting room ultimatum, show how Kate turned the warning into private on-set code, and track the moment the caution flipped into the legendary Winslet-DiCaprio partnership. Stage 14, Fox Lot, Los Angeles, Spring 1996. The casting suite smells of fresh plywood and coffee that's grown sour on the burner. James Cameron stands in the center of an improvised deck of the RMS Titanic, call sheet pages fanned in one fist, stopwatch in the other. He has already auditioned 24 jacks. Gifted unknowns, soap opera charmers, a rock singer whose agent swore he could act. None of them carry the necessary flicker. One part danger, one part boy next door, that Cameron keeps seeing in his head. Mid-afternoon, the door opens and 21-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio breezes in wearing a baseball cap and a grin that seems both practiced and entirely effortless. Kate Winslet is already on set. She has spent the day hitting marks opposite scrawny stand-ins while Cameron tests camera moves. The plan is simple. Run the gate scene twice, first as a photo call, then as a cold read. Cameron explains the drill. Leo nods, shakes hands, jokes, "Got it, boss." The flash session lasts 3 minutes. DiCaprio and Winslet lock eyes, easy chemistry. Crew members exchange hopeful glances. Cameron waves the Polaroid tech away and hands Leo a script page. "Let's do the dialogue." Leo flips the page once, maybe twice, then shrugs. "I don't read sides. I improvise. I find the moment." The words land with a thud. Cameron's brow tightens. Every minute on this stage costs $15,000. "We don't have time to find moments," the director answers. "We build them." Leo half smiles, taps the page on his leg as if fanning a campfire that refuses to light, then tries again. "I'll read, but I'm better when it's real." The air shifts. A second crew grip kills a laugh in his throat. Kate senses the stalemate, steps between their eye lines and says, "Let's just try it. If it stinks, and you move on." Leo meets her gaze. Whatever challenge he sees there is enough. He reads. Moments later he reads again, this time with the script tossed aside. Halfway through the second pass, Cameron lowers the stopwatch. The role is decided. Leo exits for a cigarette break. Cameron catches Kate at the craft services table where her tea has gone cold. He lowers his voice. "He's brilliant. You can feel it. But star mode? Star mode is lethal. If he drifts when we're burning $250,000 an hour, I'll fire him. I don't care what studio says." Kate nods. The director's intensity is famous, but the ultimatum still rattles her. "Keep him focused," Cameron adds, "and keep him humble." That admonition slips into the call sheet margin 2 days later. In red Sharpie, Cameron scribbles, "Operation Shepherd, KW Wrangles LD." The sheet, now digitized in the Fox archives, shows the note just below a prop list for steerage benches. It is proof that the warning moved from hallway whisper to production tactic. On day 3 of principal photography, the Titanic's engine room set radiates 40-degree heat from propane heaters. Kate wears a sweat-darkened chemise. Leo sports suspenders and a smudge of stage soot. They've rehearsed blocking, but once cameras roll, Leo slides 2 extra words into Jack's speech. It breaks the timing of a dolly move. Cameron calls cut, voice echoing through steel scaffolding. He strides to Leo, sets a firm hand on the young actor's shoulder, and reminds him, "The lens is the script, not the playground." Crew members freeze. Kate steps forward, fans herself with the shooting script, and quips, "Star mode or deckhand mode? Your pick, Leo." The set unfurls a collective exhale. Leo grins, gives a 2-finger salute, resets. The next take runs perfectly. Later, Grip Steve Quayle tells Vanity Fair that Winslet defused a 5-alarm meltdown with one joke. The pattern repeats. When Leo's restlessness surfaces, Kate counters with humor or challenge. She turns rehearsal into games. Fastest to nail blocking buys lunch, loser carts ice for extras. She tapes call times to Leo's dressing room mirror circled in red, scrawling deckhand mode equals Oscar mode. Leo complains good-naturedly, then shows up on the dot. During downtime she teaches him darts. He insists on penalty shots for missed lines. Competition sharpens attention. In a 2020 GQ roundtable, Leo admits, "Kate kept me from over-clowning between takes. She was the grown-up." By week 2, Cameron's walkie-talkie stays holstered more often. Winslet's steady presence acts like ballast. Night shoots, water tank days, endless costume changes. She reminds Leo of eyelines, props, dialect vowels. "She saved me hours," Cameron says in the 2005 DVD commentary. Hours equal money. Money equals goodwill. The threatened pink slip never materializes. Friendship follows function. One icy night on the forecastle set, cameras waiting for artificial moonlight. Kate shivers next to Leo, both soaked from retake after retake. She looks toward lighting rigs and deadpans. Star mode can't fix hypothermia. Leo laughs so hard the steam of his breath clouds the frame. Tension breaks, crew relaxes. The final take nails the kiss Cameron wants. Oscars season 1998. Backstage, Best Picture envelope in hand, producer John Landau turns to Cameron. "Remember when you almost canned the kid?" Cameron smirks. Kate, catching the exchange, answers first, "Not a chance. He learned deckhand mode." Reporters quote her in the next morning's Variety. Years later, on AMC's 2022 special Titanic, 25 years later, Cameron revisits the hallway confrontation. "I had to push him," he tells the host. "But Kate pushed him better." Leo, seated beside Kate, laughs. "I almost sank before the ship did." Kate squeezes his hand. Same easy chemistry. No shepherding required. The director's warning, once a private caution, has become lore, proof that the greatest love story in cinema history was partly engineered by a young actress determined to keep her co-star pointed at the lens. In BBC Radio's 2023 retrospective, Kate sums it up. "Sometimes the best advice is blunt. James told me Leo hated authority. My job was to be his friend and his authority at the same time." Cameron claimed he would fire DiCaprio if star mode reappeared, but by the film's midpoint he no longer needed to hover. Winslet's competitive rehearsals, taped call times, and running jokes did the quiet work of guidance. What began as Operation Shepherd ended as lifelong friendship and box office history. The shoot pushes into its second month, and the Atlantic tank in Rosarito becomes a night shift city. Water cannons hammer the starboard rail. Deck lights flare like false moonrise. Between setups, Leo drapes a towel over Kate's shoulders and murmurs rough lyrics. He's scribbling for a future movie that may never happen. She snorts, fixes his collar, and tells him to save the poetry for the take. An electrician catches the exchange and later repeats it to Cameron. She keeps him sharper than the AD's stopwatch. The report amuses the director. He crosses Leo's name off the informal watch list he keeps taped to his monitor. Jack Dawson has, at last, settled into discipline. Cameron's initial threat dissolves into camaraderie. During a lunch break, he signs Kate's call sheet margin with a new code. Shepherd succeeded. She laughs when she sees it, tears the edge off, and tucks it beside the folded rehearsal schedule in her script binder. 25 years later, that scrap will sell at a film prop auction for $24,000. Provenance certified by a studio memo confirming Cameron's handwriting. The warning nevertheless continues to shape behavior. At 3 a.m. on a water tank day, when camera rigs jam and extras drift off mark, Leo paces the gimbal platform, tempted to joke his way through fatigue. Kate edges in beside him, softly hums a bar of My Heart Will Go On. Not yet recorded but already the on-set whistle tune, and Leo snaps back to the blocking marks. When he lands every cue on the next take, Cameron lifts a thumb in silent acknowledgement. By wrap party, the trio has shifted from tension to shared myth. Crew gift them a framed cartoon. Cameron in a captain's hat, Kate steering a stubborn Jack toward the camera, while icebergs grin in the background. Leo pins the sketch in his Hollywood office. Visitors think it a cute inside joke. Unaware, the image hides the exact hierarchy that saved the picture from overscheduled disaster. Awards season 1998 turns the private arrangement into public triumph. Titanic smashes every record. Leo and Kate tour morning shows together, trading anecdotes the audience mistakes for polished stories rather than coded references to the director's early warning. On the Today Show, Kate recalls, "The day Jim almost had to throw someone overboard," and Leo rolls his eyes theatrically. The exchange becomes a GIF, replayed millions of times once social media arrives. Backstage at the Dolby Theater after Best Picture is announced, Cameron hugs both actors and says, "Loud enough for a hovering columnist. Glad I didn't have to fire you after all." The quip runs in Entertainment Weekly. Most readers take it as hyperbole, unaware of the genuine risk behind it. Years pass. Cameron releases extended anniversary editions, each packed with commentary tracks. In the 2005 DVD, he finally narrates the casting room standoff in detail, confirming that had Leo refused the cold red a second time, he'd have walked. He adds, "Kate instantly clocked how to work him. Respectful, teasing, professional discipline disguised as friendship." The clip circulates among acting coaches. Some begin citing Winslet shepherding as shorthand for peer-led focus on chaotic sets. The relationship matures alongside their careers. Kate headlines The Reader and Mayor of Easttown. Leo anchors Scorsese epics. Yet every few years they reunite publicly. Charity galas, movie premieres, the 2023 Climate Gala where Kate auctions dinner with my best friend Leo for $800,000. Funds earmarked for Amazon basin reforestation. On stage, she reminds bidders that Titanic itself required 500,000 trees for set lumber. Leo winks. "And one blunt director who thought I was replaceable." Laughter roars. The anecdote, polished now, hides the spark that could have altered film history. In 2022, AMC airs Titanic, 25 years later. Host John Meacham asks Cameron whether his threat to fire DiCaprio was serious. Cameron answers, "I'll never know because Kate handled it for me." The camera cuts to Leo and Kate seated together on a reproduction deck bench. Leo nudges her shoulder. "Shepherd, reporting for duty." She whispers and he salutes. The segment trends for a week. Younger viewers discover the backstory fresh, fueling new TikTok edits where users overlay "Cameron warned her" on montage clips. Podcasters mine the anecdote for lessons. Leadership versus creativity, peer accountability versus top-down pressure. Business schools cite it in case studies of managing high-talent teams. The heart of the story, one warning, one actress's diplomacy, crosses from Hollywood gossip into soft-skill canon. Spring 2025, Times Square. Kate promotes her HBO series and Leo plugs Killers of the Flower Moon streaming drop. Their PR schedules overlap by chance. Entertainment Tonight wrangles both for a sidewalk micro-interview. The reporter asks, "What's the best advice you two have ever exchanged?" Kate reminds the world, "Jim said keep him focused, so I did." Leo adds, "And she's been doing it ever since." The clip garners 4 million views in 24 hours, proving Titanic nostalgia still pools like deep water around any reunion. For Kate, Cameron's hallway caution remains the most practical direction she has received. A blunt note on day one, she tells the BBC in a 2023 retrospective, can save 100 subtle corrections later. For Leo, it is a near miss that guided his on-set habits. Interviews reveal he now requests table reads for every project, a ritual ironically born of the day he refused to read. For Cameron, the incident validates calculated bluntness. He still opens USC Film School canned as with the tale, warning students that creative brilliance must pass the humility test before it wins camera time. And for audiences, the warning cast a shadow that now serves as a highlight. Proof their favorite screen romance survived real human friction. Behind the sweated corsets and sunset kisses were deadlines, tempers, and one quick-thinking actress who disguised discipline as friendship. The caution whispered on a plywood promenade resonates decades later each time. My heart will go on rises over streaming montages. A folded call sheet, a margin note, a private ultimatum, small artifacts easily lost. Yet they redirect the current of a billion-dollar movie and ripple through pop culture lore. Cameron's threat, Kate's compliance, Leo's adjustment. 3 points on a triangle strong enough to hold a ship the size of Titanic afloat long enough to reach the Oscars stage. Friendship and legend coalesce. The director's once private warning becomes the opening line of talk show banter, a lesson in every behind-the-scenes documentary, and now the centerpiece of this very video. Proof that sometimes the most enduring Hollywood magic begins with a single, sharp caution whispered in a hallway and accepted by an actress determined to keep the cameras rolling. For more of the latest news, check out this video.